having some scheduling sorts of things, and no one was really quite sure what this hour is supposed to be specifically, because it's supposed to involve reading, but I can't read from Wheel of Time because we just can't. But it's also supposed to be Q&A. So what we've decided to do, and an hour's a little bit long for reading, what we're going to do is we're going to split it in half and do two separate panels. The first is a Q&A with mainly Harriet. Alan and I will be up here to maybe chime in on things, but I already had a full Q&A. So this is time, we'll have a half hour of just asking questions to Harriet. And then after that, we will actually, have a pause where if you don't want to see the next part, you take off, I won't be offended or whatever. And then I will actually do a reading. I've got my laptop here, and we'll pull out, and I usually, with my readings, let the audience decide what they want me to read, and we'll go through several options. It will not be Towers of Midnight. Yeah, Exploding Gophers. So we're going to proceed with that. So I will just go ahead and moderate. So what that means is I'm going to take this microphone, and I will call on people, and then I will repeat your questions so that everyone can hear it, and then I will hand the mic to Harriet to answer, okay? So, what are you guys curious about asking Harriet or Alan, who are, up here, have worked with on the Wheel of Time for many years? All right, in the back.
The grace of the Lady Moraine be upon you, Harriet.
Oh, thank you.
My question to you. Mr. Jordan has said at numerous instances that there's a touch of you in each of his female characters. Which do you feel is closest to yourself or that you sympathize with the most?
Okay. Which character in the Wheel of Time does Harriet think reflects her the most, and which one she sympathizes with the most?
It's late on Saturday. The one that comes to mind most quickly is Mogenian. But I think in truth it would be Maureen.
All right. Other questions? Right here.
Yeah, you and Alan have worked on Wheel of Time for many years. Beyond that, are there any other projects that you're looking at editing or anything beyond the Wheel of Time? Okay,
the question is there anything that Harriet is looking forward toward editing beyond the Wheel of Time or anything else she is looking at editing?
Well, the encyclopedia is sort of beyond the Wheel of Time, or it's a fifth wheel, but I'll definitely be looking forward to editing that, and I'll turn it over to Alan in a minute to do it. He's been working on the encyclopedia lately. Meanwhile, there's a project with a fellow Charles Stonian that I'm eager to see get off the ground, but I really can't talk about it. It's not, well, it's sort of fantasy, but it's not quite. Alan, do you want to talk about the encyclopedia a bit?
Well, we have a session. We have a session specifically on that tomorrow morning.
What time?
At 1 o'clock.
That's
1
morning?
o'clock. 1 o'clock tomorrow.
That's morning for me.
And after the Wheel of Time, I think I look forward to working more in my garden and continuing my career as a professional cabaret singer.
Can you see some of that?
Oh, he's good.
All right, right
You
here.
can see it, but you can't.
Are we going to get to see the other two prequels that Robert had planned on writing?
All right, the question is, are you going to get to see the other two prequels that Mr. Jordan had planned on writing?
We're finishing the Wheel of Time first, and that's it.
Other questions? Come on, you guys, you got Harriet here. Goddamn. All right.
A bit more of a technical question here. Is it possible, I already asked Maria this and got a bit of a vague answer.
Okay.
It wasn't a RAFO, it was a vague answer. Is it possible to learn weaves from text, or does it have to be demonstrated?
Is it possible to learn weaves from text, or does it have to be demonstrated?
I can be very vague. when I want to be. And this is such a moment.
Do we want to give him one of these?
Yeah.
There you go. You got raptured by Harriet. All right, you had a question. Are you going to be doing the travels of Jane Farstriker?
No, but maybe Killers of the Black Veil? I've always wanted to read that one.
In the back? That was a joke.
This is probably a raffle, but I'll go with it anyway. Can you name one thing that someone can do with the true power that cannot be accomplished with the one power?
Can you name one thing that can be done with the true power that cannot be accomplished with the one power?
Yes.
No! Oh, wait. Wait, but Alan has answers.
You can get those cool spotted eyeballs.
Okay. Other questions? Oh, you're just going in your hair. All right.
Okay. People ask me this all the time, and I never have an answer. What else have you edited besides The Wheel of Time and Ender's Game?
What else has Harriet edited besides The Wheel of Time and Ender's Game?
Well, Brandon has an editor on The Way of Kings. I did I read it for him, and it was a great pleasure. It's going to be one hell of a good book. I edited a good many of the novels of Father Andrew Greeley, who is arguably the best known priest in the American Catholic Church, who is unindicted. And I edited a number of novels by Mike and Kathy Gear, who write the...
There was a gasp.
Yes! They write books of pre-Columbian North America, and they're good too. And a lot of other people whose names are escaping me, like Exploding Gophers. Who?
Begins with an S.
Sanderson.
Whitney Strieber.
Okay. Saberhagen?
Saberhagen, yeah. A bunch of Saberhagen. And what a doll he was. I'm so sorry he's left the building. He's just a super person. Carol Nelson Douglas, who writes, actually her funniest character is a cat detective who lives in Las Vegas, named Midnight Louie. And she also wrote some terrific Holmesian stuff about Irene Adler and Mr. Holmes. Hey, it was 35 years, there were a lot of them. But those come to mind. I've been a generalist. I've done everything. I have edited everything in publishing picture books, copy editing textbooks, including one called Electromagnetic Slow Wave Systems. How's that for keeping you awake? That was marking equations for a monotype setting. As I'm prone to say, dinosaurs roamed the earth in those days. And I've never done adult erotica. But I have done children's books, YA, adult fiction, non-fiction, all that stuff. It's been a lot of fun.
All right, right here.
How do you feel about the idea of an Eye of the World movie? Do you feel that they can do the series justice?
All right, how do you feel about an Eye of the World movie? Do you think they can do the series justice?
Well, I think they can. It will be interesting to see what happens. It's a huge task to make an Eye of the World movie that will work. And predicting whether a movie will be good or bad or never made at all is an occupation that has no possible payoff. It just, we'll wait and see. And I wish them well and look forward to seeing what's going to happen. But I have no idea. It would take, The Eye of the World is as big as the Lord of the Rings trilogy. How it can be done in one movie, it's going to be tricky. We'll see. And I hope it's going to be wonderful.
Alan, do you?
Well, Amy, how large is a movie script? 125 pages?
Yeah, I think
so.
One
It's a minute to a page.
Yeah, 150 is a really long one.
Okay, so yeah, just bear in mind that a typical movie script is about 125 pages. In fact, we have a script of The Reader, which came out the other year, and it is 125 pages, 2-hour movie. So what it really would require is a screenwriter as capable as Robert Jordan was as a novelist to pull it off, to be able to pick out the really salient. It's like an artist. You don't necessarily have to realistically depict the portrait you're doing, but you have to get the character, the soul, and put that on the canvas for that to communicate to the audience. And if a very talented screenwriter is able to do that, then they've done their job and it will work.
All right, other questions? Right here.
How was the mind, who thought up the mind trap and like any circumstances you can divulge around that? It'd be greatly appreciated by my eldest son.
All right, any circumstances that Harriet can divulge about the creation of the mind trap? Who came up with it? I assume that's Jim, but was there anything about the conversation regarding that or the background that he spoke to you about?
Jim did think it up, and I did not have conversation with him about it. As an editor, it's always been awful for me to listen to a writer tell me his story. Because then when I get the manuscript, I'll say, damn, this is stale. I've heard this story before, which of course I had.
Yes.
But that applied with him as well, that I wanted to be able to learn the story on the page. So I'm sorry, I can't.
Well, can you perhaps tell me who in the Age of Legends thought up?
Oh,
Is that no?
I don't remember.
Is that a math
Was it
though?
ever said?
Was it ever said?
Certainly not.
Not in the books. Well, he might have it somewhere in these millions of words of notes.
I don't recall ever seeing anything in notes about that.
Okay, I think that one's a NAFO, but it's a NAFO with Alan saying, Alan's poured through the notes quite a bit. He hasn't seen it. Chances are good it's not in there. She wanted to know who thought it up in the Age of Legends, which makes more sense than asking who thought it up.
But the other was very interesting.
Okay, well, Harriet, I want to piggyback something on that might be interesting. I have heard, is this apocryphal or not, that you and Jim would have conversations about the characters at the dinner table. Is this true? Would you do this?
Well, famously, or at least I have never forgotten it, he was finishing The Eye of the World and said, I want to talk to you about some people called the Maidens of the Spear. This was at the end of The Eye of the World. And we had a long talk in a delicatessen at the lunch table about how that would work, about babies, and how the family relationships would work. And when did we get to see that? He was thinking that many books ahead.
All right, let's take 2 more questions. Yeah, 2 more. So, right back here.
What was the easiest and the hardest Wheel of Time book to edit?
Ooh, which were the easiest and the hardest Wheel of Time book to edit? I bet mine was the hardest.
No, Brandon's was not the hardest. because Brandon was a joy to work with. So was Jen, but Brandon was a consummate professional, and it was great to work with him. But it's true, in the beginning it was. I wasn't ready. I was still so caught in grief that at the beginning I couldn't do it. And we lost a good, I lost a good 3 months before I was able to work with it. And in that respect it was hard, and I guess the eye of the world. Jim had just come off writing 7 Colemans, and then 4 years of work on the Wheel of Time contract before he gave me the first half of the book, because he would give me things in halves, I guess, so I wouldn't get skittish on him. But I got about a third of the way into it and said, "Tom, darling, you've got to read this one." And he said, "Yeah, why?" "I have a lot to read, you know." And I know Jim's a competent storyteller. I said, "You've got to read this one because it is effing wonderful." Either that, or after 7 years, I have fallen into the wife trap and can't tell the difference in my husband's writing between okay and wonderful. And that was just a joy. And I remember talking to him about halfway through the book and said, "Well, when they get to Tarvalon," he said, "They don't get there this book, Harriet." I said, "Oh? Oh." I will tell you also that there is an Ogier Street in Charleston, O-G-I-E-R. It's a family name. Nothing to do with very large people with hairy ears.
All right, one more question. Oh, right here.
Was Baron at the Dark Friends Social?
Was Baron at the Dark Friends Social?
That was Dena.
All right, we'll let another one. We'll let another one by. So that was really quick. So right back in the back there.
When Robert Jordan first told you about the one power, how did you feel about it?
When Robert Jordan first told you about the one power, how did you feel about it?
Well, it was on the page. So I felt about it very much I imagine the rest of you did. Whoa!
Okay, I think we can end with a whoa. Let's give a round of applause then.
Thank you all for being here. It's wonderful to see Robert Jordan so honored, and great for me to see you. Bye.